Hey guys, it is 101R Smith, and I am here with a review, not of a model kit, not of a figure, but of a webcam. I will be taking a look today at the Amcrest AWC201-B Webcam. So, how did I get in possession of this? I am teaming up with Amcrest to give you guys a review of this webcam. Basically, they were giving out a kind of package, a rebate review cycle where they're trying to get people to try out the new products. I got in contact with them. I bought it off of Amazon. They gave me my rebate, and they want me to do a review of it. I'm doing a physical review of typing it up and writing it. That will be out this weekend. But obviously, I'm gonna make a video review because making videos is what I do. So, obviously, with these dark times that we're in, a lot of us still, even though it's been 6 fucking months? Obviously, a lot of us are stuck at home. Or a lot of us are picking up new hobbies, whether it's trying to be the next big live stream star where it's talking or doing a podcast, playing video games. Maybe you're trying to play some guitar. Obviously, a lot of laptops these days have built-in webcams, but let's be honest, not all of them are great. But this product here, Amcrest is telling you that you can get an integrated USB-based webcam that shoots out 1080p at 30 frames per second. Some of you might be thinking, that's unbelievable. Or this has to be a scam. No way you could do 1080p a webcam. You can do it, but it won't be exactly what you're seeing. Like, if you want it to look like this, not exactly, but I'm gonna break it down and show you what it looks like. But first, let me show you the box and the webcam itself. Now, the web camera inside the box, you're gonna get this box, which is the Amcrest HD web camera, AWC201-B. On the side, it's gonna boast CMOS image sensor, full HD at 30 frames per second, 1080p, a 3.6mm lens, 70 degrees of field of view, a high sensitivity mic, 5.5 cable, and it is USB 2.0, which is pretty much the basis for all web cameras these days. Included is the web camera itself. It's pretty much a plug-and-play set, and you do get a privacy cover for those people who are a little sensitive and are a little paranoid. And there you go. It's just, you take it out of the box, you unwrap it, you can take the safety lens off if you want, you can take off the wrapping paper, and it's pretty much plug and play. Now we're gonna compare it because obviously, while the overall presentation of what I do hasn't really changed over the last 3.5 years, quality and style definitely has. We went from, if you really want to go dig in my archives, I went from doing 15-second comedy clips on my iPad Air to the Sony Handycam, which I've had since 2015. And now we've gone completely 4K with the Sony AX700. So quality has gone up significantly, even more so in the last year, now that I figured out how to use lighting to my advantage, angles, and let's be honest, me finally getting more than one dedicated stand for my cameras instead of just using the table coffees and being very ghetto. So obviously style has changed, but how does this webcam go into it? We will go through all of the video presentations that I have currently available to me, and we will break it down, showing both in quality and presentation. Alright, we're going to start off first with my original camera. This is the Sony HDR CX330. Had it now for about 5 years. Still functions alright. Works pretty well. No artifacts. Audio's a little meh, but what do you expect? Decent quality at 1080p, 30 frames per second, so we're doing good. Next up, we have the Sony AX700 4K camera shooting at 1080p, 100 frames per second. You know, it's kind of weird. It's obviously gonna look a lot better than the Handy Handycam because of the fact that it's 4K being downscaled artificially to 1080p at 100 frames, you know, moving all crazy. Still have a lot of the sharp lighting, again, natural lighting, no extra modifications. This is how the camera looks on default and with some autofocus. So next up here we have the upgrade. We have the Sony the Sony AX700 shooting at 4K resolution, 25 frames per second. Just pretty good. I think it's the best camera that I've had today. Obviously, it's 4K. Good audio, especially even more so if you were to get the addition of the boombox that's sold separately. Decent color, decent background, no extra lighting, and just natural light. This looks pretty good. I think this is the best one. And finally, here is my second demo of the Amcrest web camera, because the last time I tried to shoot this, it did not record any of my audio at all. It was very faulty and it just didn't work, so I look pretty differently. This is about a week later. I think it looks pretty decent enough. You definitely get the kind of like a medium quality 1080p at 30 frames per second, but it's got like this weird kind of fish lens effect. If you ever seen any of the footage from the canceled Sonic game, Sonic Extreme, that was supposed to be coming out for the Sega Saturn back in 96, 97, this is what it's kind of reminding me like now. It's like really weird and wicked. And then with the color palette, it's just kind of stuck in this weird bluish hue, which it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does kind of give like a very like, salty expression. Very muted. So this is me playing with the dynamic range, and this is without the dynamic range. It looks a bit paler, but the faulty blue kind of just always sticks around. So in terms of audio quality, it's kind of muffled and echoey. That might also have to do with my sourcing material that I'm using on my laptop. But I find the audio not that great. You might want to use like an outlining, like an additional source like a microphone or a headphone in order to use this camera. It's not the worst thing in the world, but if you're just trying to use this for a basic, hey, this is my face and this is me in my house, no problem. But if you're trying to do something of a more higher quality, then that might be a more issue. Overall, while I'm looking at myself, I would say this is a decent quality. Not perfect, but it captures my face. It gets the shadows of the room pretty well. And just go into this feeling kind of a little Echo 65, feeling kind of blue and pale. This isn't the worst thing in the world, but this is no replacement for a camcorder at all. But for a webcam, this is actually pretty damn good. Now that we've looked at all of the different figures, all of the different fields, obviously nothing's gonna beat a designated 4K prosumer camera. Nothing can top that except for those $50,000 cameras that Hollywood have. But, you know, when I think of all the sources, obviously the worst one was my built-in web camera that was on my laptop. The Amcrest one was almost on par with my old Sony Handcam. Obviously the mic is a little fuzzy and it doesn't really work as well as I like it to be. And of course you're gonna be stuck in this blue hue. It's not the greatest in the world. But to think a small little webcam could rival a Handycam with full HD from 5 or even 6 years ago, that is very impressive. If that's the case, I hope that Amcrest improves on their equipment and hopefully in the next year or so can build up and their webcams could actually rival pretty much the old Handcams from the last 10 years. Or maybe even an iPhone 3 or 4. That would be very impressive to see a company grow that way. Overall, my opinions on the Amcrest Handycam, it's not for every essential video thing that you need. It is good. For $50, you get a medium quality webcam that you could just plug and play. It would be definitely great for if you're having a business meeting or you want to talk to someone face to face, but your webcam on your laptop sucks ass. That is a great use for it. In terms of making videos for YouTube or social media, I won't say no, but I say you could do better. If you're looking for a secondary face camera, if you're doing Twitch or something of that sort, I know this is gonna sound repetitive, but you can do better. But it is a good, cheap option if you're just trying to start and build your way up. And this isn't just something you're doing to kind of pass the time until things go back to normal. It is a great option to start, but again, you could do better. So that is my honest review of the Amcrest AWC201-B Webcam. I'd like to thank Amcrest Direct for sending me it, giving me the rebate, and allowing me to review it honestly and not try to pull the wool on you guys. I love being able to do reviews on that. Maybe if I'm lucky, more companies would want to offer me more things to review and talk about. If you're interested in doing that, let me know and we can talk about it. I'm gonna go because I gotta go hunt me down a PlayStation 5. If you're on that same track, I wish you luck. Pray for me that I can get a PS5. This is 101 R Smith, and I will see you later. Get out of my way.